Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on Euro CAD? Let's make a full breakdown. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, we can see that clearly the market had created this overextended W formation, from which the market created a nice retracement and then the continuation to the upside. And that is exactly what you expect. In fact, after a market creates an overextended W formation, what do you expect? You expect the market to make a retracement to the previous resistance, which is now turn support, which is also the starting point of the pattern. So you expect the market to make a retracement to this level, and then from here create the continuation to the upside to create this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. And in fact, that is exactly what the market did. Specifically, here, the start of the pattern was exactly here, the previous resistance. Now turn support was at this level here, which was also the completion zone of the W formation and the level from which the pattern itself started. Now, if we want informations on a retracement in the market, where are we supposed to be placing our Fibonacci? From the low to the high of the impulse. And by doing it, what we can see is that the market retraced exactly to the 50% of the Fibonacci taken on the impulse before starting the continuation to the upside, which is exactly what you expect. Going down on the weekly, what we can see. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can see that clearly from this level, the market was shifting from making lower lows to making higher lows, and the explosion to the upside was just a matter of time before the market would have actually made basically this big move to the upside. In fact, we had also spoken about the market when I was here, saying that clearly we expected this move to the upside. Now, why did we expect this move to the upside? Because on the daily time frame, the market had broken the structure. Plus, we had all the reasons that we have just spoken about on the monthly and weekly. And on the daily time frame, we had clearly previous resistance here, which was turned support at this level. In fact, I spoke about EuroCAD when the market was at this area, telling to all of you that we definitely expected a retracement to this zone to grab some liquidity before the continuation to the upside. And that is exactly what the market did. And I will link this previous analysis in description so you can go and check it out for further reference and more free education. And after that, after this huge move to the upside, rejecting the structure and creating the wave to the upside that we wanted to see from the weekly and monthly, as we have just seen, what did the market do? The market created this M formation. And I have made an analysis again on EuroCAD when the market was here, explaining why after this M formation we definitely wanted to see the move to the upside that the market has just made. So the market has made the move to the upside exactly as we wanted, and I will link also this previous analysis in description so you can go and check it out. And now the market has also completed this M formation. So everything exactly as we wanted to see. And where is the next opportunity for Euro CAD? Now, it's important to say that in completing this M formation on the weekly, the market has also created an impulse and a correction here on the daily time frame, from which we expect a continuation to the downside for the creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside and rejection of this previous support, which is now turned resistance on the daily time frame. And also, if we check the weekly, we can see that we have the candle that the next one is supposed to fill in the wick. That is basically what we have also in the weekly, considering that we are also at a very strong resistance level for the possibility of creating a double top on the weekly. So we will definitely like the market from here to start decelerating, because at the moment this retracement is way too strong, and then to start from here a nice move to the downside. Specifically, if we want informations on this daily retracement, what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse. And we can see that currently the market is in the structure level, which is in between the 50% and 0.618 Fibonacci retracements taken on the impulse. So clearly a strong resistance zone from the daily time frame. Now, if we go and see what we have from a COT perspective on the euro and on the CAD, so what the biggest banks and institutions are currently doing on euro CAD, what we can see. We can see that on the euro, clearly longs went from 147k all the way up to 266k, and shorts went from a more or less 60k to the 60k that we still have here. So shorts haven't really changed. The only thing that changed is that with the last report, shorts decreased of almost 20K. But the longs, that is where the massive increase is, and that is the reason for which we definitely wanted to see this move to the upside and this move to the upside, because the market makers still have big longs in the market, because clearly institutions have been adding massive longs, and that is the reason for which the market has been moving to the upside. So the euro is very bullish. However, since we have such a record amount of longs, we can expect some profit taking on these longs, and if that will happen, EuroCAD will definitely make it for a move to the downside and to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. Specifically, if we go and see what we have on the CAD, we can see that from an institutional perspective, net positions on the CAD decreased with the last report, with 3.7K shorts getting added with the last report and 2.6K longs getting closed. So the CAD is getting weaker in the short term, and the euro, we can expect some profit taking. Now, if the profit taking on the euro will be stronger than the weakness on the CAD, then we can definitely expect the continuation to the downside. But as we have clearly seen, this is a very complicated situation, because even though we would like to see the continuation to the downside, the market can easily break this structure to the upside. So how we will be approaching this market with students, as usual, we will be reactive and not predictive, because monthly, weekly, and daily are the best time frames for the direction of the market, combined with the COT data. But the best time frame for entry is the 4 hours. And at the moment on the 4 hours, everything is still bullish without any sign of weakness. So definitely we cannot be looking for any shorts yet, as we had already understood by looking at higher time frames. So with students inside of this area, what we will be doing is monitoring price action on the 4 hours, waiting for the market to shift from a 4-hour bullish market to a 4-hour bearish market. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the continuation to the downside and creation of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside, and creation of a lower low to test the demand and liquidity that we have at this area. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.